All right, so this is episode 1 of our first podcast. We have not decided upon a name. If it was up to me, it would be the Henry Podcast, but it's not up to me because there's 3 of us. I'm with Spencer and Will. How would you describe
What's up?
yourselves?
Pretty much a stud, a champion at everything that I do. There's nothing that I fail at. I'm always successful, and I do things better than everybody else.
Okay, what about you, Will? How would you describe yourself to the audience?
I would say that I'm a genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist.
Okay, I'm going to give an accurate description of Spencer and Will to everyone. Spencer is 5'2". If it tells you anything about him, he's really into WWE, if that describes his personality.
I feel like you can draw a lot from that. I mean, most people probably think redneck, hick, not educated, but
yeah, those are great descriptors. You have no idea how to use technology. You literally spent half an hour trying to figure out how to use a microphone. And we both had to talk you through using an internet cable. So that pretty much sums you up. And Will,
Ooh.
Well,
basically, basically, it's just like Spencer, but a little bit taller, a little bit fatter, and he has a little bit more of an education.
What are you talking about?
Just a year's worth.
Yeah.
I didn't drop out yet.
Whereas me, I'm pretty much perfect. Studying my masters. That's how clever I am.
He's God's gift to women.
Yeah, I have all the qualifications.
Possibly the next James Bond. Tip to be, in fact.
Yeah. And this is the least planned podcast you will ever hear. But episode 1 is about drinking. So give me your drinking stories.
Ooh, let's start with everybody's favorite drink.
Oh, all right. Well, you open us up.
Ooh, my favorite drink, definitely a Wild Turkey 101 whiskey.
I have no idea what that is.
It's just a whiskey that's 51% alcohol. It's great, it's delicious.
It's a wussy drink.
Nah, anything with any kind of fruit is a wussy drink.
Yeah, if you're not drinking Everclear, you're not drinking.
It's got to be moonshine.
Got to be at least 120% or higher.
Yeah, 120%.
120 proof. My bad. Proof.
He thinks he's a drinker and he doesn't even know anything about drinks.
Yeah, amateur. Whiskey does not do it for me. What about you, Spencer?
Oh, you put some Fireball in front of me, and it's gonna be a show. You will not be disappointed.
Fireball, I'm good with, but as soon as it gets to whiskey, I'm instantly fucked. Instantly fucked.
You got fucked. You got fucked the other day from whiskey.
Yeah, cool. Did you hear about this, Spencer?
Well, let me hear the story. This is brand new information, I think.
Basically, Henry sucks at FIFA.
Yeah.
And Grant and I are awesome.
So we were playing a FIFA drinking game, even though we live in different states, and every time he scored, I'd take a shot. And we were on fire that day. Like, him and Grant were just blasting in goals, and I had 3/4 of my bottle of Jim Beam in maybe 40 minutes.
Basically, what I'm hearing is, you would think somebody from the great land of Britain would be able to play soccer a little bit better, but
I was carrying the team. I was getting those hockey assists. I was getting the assists to the assists, but I flew through my bottle. I've never drunk that much. It was just shot after shot after shot. And I went to go after about maybe 4 games. So I texted everyone and I was like, yeah, I'll see you downtown. See you downtown. I'll see you at this bar. See you at that bar. So I had my whole night planned out, and then I went to go and put my phone on charge. And I woke up, and it was 7:30 in the morning. Yep, I just lied.
You were out by 11 for sure.
Yeah, a little bit earlier than that.
What a lightweight. Ladies and gentlemen, this man right here is not a very accurate representation of the rest of us champions in this podcast. We could definitely hold our own liquor, beer, whatever it is. We're not going down like this British. Well, I can't say that on the podcast, but this British douche. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah,
A bellend.
I'm definitely the worst at drinking. Like, it's never positive. I've never had a drinking time and be like, oh, that was just a great time relaxing with my friends. No. It always goes wrong.
It's either sleeping in a ditch or nothing.
Or maybe sleeping in a bathtub. Wink, wink.
Losing a shoe climbing through a river. Type drunk.
Yeah, I feel like we should go through all these stories. But seeing I've just told one, I feel like someone else should step up. Because
you're the tallest. You go.
I'm the tallest. Let's see. Well, there's one time I was coming home from a freshman year of college. Sister was getting married. Had to show all my cousins that were older that, the 19-year-old Will could drink. Sister had an open bar. Got really drunk. And ended up puking on my dad while I was dancing.
Oh, man. How did he react? What was his reaction?
It was, I don't remember. I was blackout, first off. So this is all secondhand stories. But apparently I threw up a little bit on him. He went and changed, went upstairs to the room we were staying in together at the hotel because my sister wasn't getting married in our hometown. And I walked up to the room. Apparently, at like 2 a.m., asked where the bathroom was. He said, "It's not here. This is my bed." And I proceeded to use his bed as the toilet and puke all over me. And I woke up with him standing over me at like 7 a.m. with the blanket covered in puke and smelling awful, just saying, "You're paying for this. Get the fuck up." And that was probably the worst hangover I've ever had.
Oh, so what all had you had to drink that night? Do you remember?
Let's think. Yeah. My brother-in-law makes this thing where he uses Sprite, some kind of whiskey that he imports, and then distilled syrup, like concentrated syrup, and it tastes phenomenal. It tastes just like a freaking Sprite, but it's got a bunch of booze in it, and they're ridiculous.
You're pretty good at making drinks compared to me. I feel like I'd definitely make the worst drinks.
Henry just makes rum and Coke, and that's about all he knows out of the recipe book.
Yeah. But speaking of like bad hotel stories, I was in China one time, and I was sick of the Chinese food, and I was going to in a taxi, and I threw up in my coat. So I like had it as like a huge, like my coat was like a huge bowl. I just threw it up in that. And then, because it was a really nice coat too, I wanted to get it washed, and I sent it to like the hotel laundry person. And just imagine that. Imagine scraping out my fucking breakfast from the inside of that coat and trying to wash it. And I paid like $6 for them to wash it. I was like, that's not worth the money for them.
You're lucky Kim Jong-un didn't have you arrested for that crap and thrown you into the prison.
Exactly.
I have a story about puking in a jacket as well. It's another one with my dad, actually.
Let's hear it.
We were in New Orleans for the Sugar Bowl to watch Auburn play, and I guess we played on New Year's Day, and we were there New Year's Eve. So New Year's Eve on Bourbon Street was pretty wild. I guess. And we go to this place called what's it called? Not the Smoking Pig, something pig, right off Bourbon Street, and they're selling absinthe, like absinthe by the bottle. And my cousin buys one, and we drink it, and we go, and I guess in New Year's, I don't remember midnight at all, but New Year's Eve was pretty packed, and I eventually get to our hotel through a taxi that I puked in the taxi, had to clean out the taxi. The taxi driver I pulled over made me clean it out and then pay him $75 for the fee. And then he showed me the thing inside. And I was really drunk, so I couldn't really argue. And I get to the hotel, realize it's not our hotel, and go and like sit in the bathroom for like 2 hours waiting for my dad to drive like an hour for the taxi, which I had taken like an hour outside of the city. I had to wait for my dad for like 2 hours to come pick me up from the wrong hotel. And he was pissed. He was freaking furious at me.
Oh, no
And
way.
at one point, I'm sure at one point there was a girl in the taxi with me, and she just realized I was so drunk. I was like, "What am I doing here?" And I guess she just left. I don't know. I don't know how that happened. But
Nice.
Sound,
it doesn't make you
it's-
lose tonight as much as I was hoping it would.
the recurring theme that I'm hearing here is that you're a liability when you get too drunk.
Will can't close as well.
So I reckon you should tell our little drunk fiasco when we were trying to get home that one time.
Is this from the bonfire that we went to?
Yes, yes.
Oh man. Well, to I guess really paint the picture, I gotta start from the beginning here. So we shoot, we were just looking to, I guess, have some fun one night, I don't even know what all was going on, but for some reason we picked to go to some random bonfire out in the middle of nowhere, honestly. And it was one of my old friends, and she had a bunch. Yeah, went to high school.
Who was
together.
it? I don't even know the people who we went to see. I don't remember much.
Are we allowed to say names on this?
No, probably not.
Say initials.
Good idea. You say
We'll
that first,
go LJ.
Okay.
Oh, who
I
the
don't
fuck
know.
is that?
No, that's fine. I don't really care.
Anyway,
I know, I
so-
care.
What's her first name?
Lacey.
Oh no, I have no
The
idea
fuck?
who that is.
I know.
I was there though.
I know.
Yeah.
Dozier, Lacey.
No, not Dozier, but you just gave a full name, by the
Oops.
way.
Edit that
Now
out.
he's gonna have a stalker. Anyway, so she invited us out there. She met us at some gas station. We followed her out there, and it was fun. We played a bunch of drinking games. Flip cup. Me and Henry were on a team, and you pretty much already know who the liability was on this team.
I'm terrible at
You with
flip
your
cup.
midget arms.
No, that's what gave me the advantage. All I had to do is just flick it right there. Henry's over here like flopping it across the table.
Yeah, just on the floor, everything. Flip cup is not my game. I can do any drinking game, but that.
And that was like the one that they wanted to play the most. Like I don't know why for some reason that was what they loved. So anyway, we played a few games of that, and this was early on in the drinking, years. The first real dip into the just getting plastered, So we were some wussies on dang Smirnoff, and getting plastered off. They had some other mixed drinks that we were drinking. So anyway, after that we sit down for a little bit, and all of a sudden we're just talking to this random dude starts coming over.
Probably should mention that story. Mention that story. I don't want to edit stuff out of the first episode. So we're driving home. All right, someone is driving us home and we're wasted. We'll skip. That's not interesting. The party's not interesting. We're on the way home.
And so anyway, we get. Literally, we are 2 minutes from home. We could walk home if we really wanted to, and all of a sudden we just get a flat tire. Bam! I don't know if we hit something. I don't know if it was just a bad tire to begin with. I can't remember, but so we pull over the side of the road. We're on a hill, and
the girl who was sober, who was driving us, she had no idea how to change a tire, so that was all up to us.
Yeah, and so we're sitting there. She parks on the hill. We're certainly not in the right frame of mind here, and so we just we put everything under it. We're jacking it up, and it keeps rolling back. And I'm like, dang, we just gotta tough it out. We can make it home, and then we'll figure it out in the morning. We're going slow, but we're getting up the road, and Like I said, we're only 2 minutes away, but I mean, we're just driving
It's
this
just
rim.
bubbling up just on the rim. Going like 1 mile an hour, literally.
Yeah. So anyway, so we pull over again, and we're like, look, we got to get this changed, or else it's gonna end up being worse. And like I said, I mean, we're pretty far gone at this point. And we pull over on this bridge, and out of we're getting out, we're getting everything back out of the trunk, and we start trying to get it going again. Getting the piece. I think we just got the tire out, and this random car pulls up behind us. And this random, I mean, he's blaring bright lights on us, so we can't hardly see him when he gets
we were
out.
paranoid. We were like, "Oh my god, who is about to attack?"
Yeah, so you can't even see him. He comes up, doesn't even say a word,
Nope.
and just starts changing the tire for us. And so we're sitting there like, "Oh my god, is he gonna like change the tire and then steal the car?" Like, is he gonna rob us after he changes the tire? Like, hey, I just changed your tire. Now you owe me your wallet. So like,
didn't say a single word. He just like, "Oh, let me just," then just starts pulling out shit and just fixes it for us, and then just runs off. And we're just like, "Well, thanks, I guess." But it was too quick. I mean, we were probably stood there like wasted, just like, what is going on? He was like, "Oh, these guys are out of it." But
so luckily we had a good Samaritan pull over for us that night.
Yeah.
And so then anyway, so he like changes the tire for me, and here I go, and I just throw the bad tire over the bridge into the river, and
you can't just gloss over that fact.
Yeah.
What made you
The
think like,
rim
fuck,
too.
I gotta get rid of this into the river?
No, I was just like at the time that my trunk had so much junk in it. I mean, random blankets, random I mean, just junk. I don't know if we were moving or what.
Not a random tire though. That shit had to go.
Well, see,
there was like, no room for the rim. No room in this life.
Not even keep the rim, just chuck it to the ocean.
Well, I didn't feel like digging everything out. I mean, I was plastered, and I was like ready to get home and just hit the hay. And so anyways, I wake up the next morning, call my dad. I'm like, hey, I had a flat tire last night. Oh, okay, cool. We'll take the rim. Next day or two, get you another tire. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, you kept the tire, didn't you? I was like, no.
It didn't even cross our minds to not throw this wheel off the bridge. We were just like, that's not dealt with. Just threw it in the river.
I just thought I was saving space in my truck, I was just in the moment thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to dump this soon anyways, so why not now? And he's like, dang it, you need that, like you better go back and get it. I didn't tell him I was, just out of my mind drunk, like, oh, I didn't think about it. I threw it in the river. I was like, oh, I left it on the side of the road, like, so I had to act like I went back and looked for it. Oh, it wasn't there. And so he was so pissed that we had to call around all these places, find a new rim. It probably
cost more than your car, to be fair. That car was struggling.
No, it was that car was nothing compared to the Boner Mobile.
Which one was that? The truck?
No, that was the fuck truck.
Jabs' car?
Yeah, he sold that thing for $500.
The Boner Mobile.
I don't know if I remember it.
He had an Oldsmobile too.
You did?
Oh, really?
Oh, yours was like a red one, right?
White.
Me? No, I had a white Oldsmobile.
You had a white one? Who the fuck had a red one?
That was after the Kia that the flat tire was in.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So my experience of whiskey. The last time I drank whiskey was when I fell asleep at like 10:30. But the time before that, I had a football game to go to, which was at midday, and I didn't even drink that much again. It was just like one bottle of Jack Daniels, like the 750ml. So it wasn't that crazy amount. You'd think I could stomach that, but like I'm not a big fan of football, so I wasn't there for like the game. I was just there to chill, and it was maybe about a quarter of the way through, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of bored of this game. I might just head home. And thinking that I knew my way home, I started walking in the complete wrong direction from the city. Like, you've been to Colombia, there's the city, and then you just walk the opposite way, and it just goes straight into the country. And that's the way I was going. It was not good. I had no idea what I was doing. There was just no comprehension.
So then how did you finally figure out you was going the wrong way?
See, I didn't, because I had my phone on me at the time, but I think I lost that in the river, if I remember correctly. I remember sleeping, like, lying down in a bush for a bit. I was like, I'll take a break here. And I think my phone fell out my pocket there. I don't know where this was, because obviously I was a little bit drunk at this time. And I kind of had a rest in a bush, and then I kept walking. And I walked 2 hours into the wrong direction.
Jeez.
Yep. And
You probably walked a total of like half a mile though.
yeah, exactly. Like, that wasn't speed walking, because I went through like a forest. I went through a river, and it was bad. I remember just jogging for a bit too. I was like, the police are coming, and just start jogging. All I had was just whiskey. Like, what is wrong with me? Just imagine me in one shoe on, just jogging around your neighborhood. You just open up your curtains, and there I am. But
oh, that sounds like a Trayvon incident waiting to happen.
Jeez, you can't say that.
Why not? No, so anyway, what I was gonna ask was, what did you do? Did you finally call somebody to come get you, or did you just end up figuring out, sobering up, and walking the right way?
No, my phone was gone. I was in a river or in a bush somewhere. My keys were gone. I still had my wallet though. And I remember, like, I was just jogging along. This is in the middle of nowhere. Like, this is sketchy. I was jogging along, and I just put my thumb up. Like, I was wasted.
Trying to be a hitchhiker.
And like 2 cars passed, and then the next car passed, and he stopped, and he was like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "I'm trying to get home." He's like, "Oh boy, you're going the wrong way."
Do I have some candy for you?
Yeah, that's how sketchy it was. But he just gave me a ride home. And I remember all my money was soaking wet because I'd been walking through rivers. Why? I don't know why he picked me up. That still blows my mind to this day. I was like, I offered him all my soggy money, and he was like, "No, you're fine. I'm just gonna drive you home. You need it tonight."
Jeez, Junk Henry is a triathlon wizard.
Yeah, exactly. Just need the bike. I'd be there.
I mean, it sounds like you swam, you walked, you jogged, you hitchhiked. I mean, what didn't you do this night?
Exactly. A little bit of everything. You got to keep it interesting. And when I got back, I was covered in, like, my legs were all bleeding out from walking through all the bushes and stuff. I had one shoe on, and it was completely soaked. And, like, my shorts were soaked. And, like, my roommates had all got back from the game, and they're like, "Where have you been?" Just so I don't want to talk about it. It was like 10:30 at this time.
Jeez. Well, at least you finally made it back.
Yeah, I got a good night's sleep after picking out all the thorns from my legs. I'd sobered up by then. I was like, "What have I just done?"
This story could have took a huge turn when he got picked up by his
Yeah, exactly.
his lover.
Yeah, it'd just be you two recording this podcast, reading out like news articles now.
Yeah, we'd start off with your obituary.
Yeah,
gagged and bounded.
Yep. R.I.P. to me.
He gets in the car. Hey,
Bumfuck nowhere, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh,
his last words were no, daddy,
mule.
no.
Been the sex mule of a small town in Orangeburg, South Carolina.
Yeah, exactly. That'll be me. But I made it out of that one.
As soon as you opened the door, he could have hit you with the, "Hey, boy, you got a pretty mouth."
Yeah, pretty mouth.
And Henry probably would have
That's
been
for
down
sure.
for it. Apparently, I mean, he swam. He fucking slept in bushes. He rolled
Jogging.
around in thorns. Like what? I don't think he would have said no.
I was jogging about away from the police, even though I was in the middle of nowhere. I was like, the police are gonna find me. Just jogging. Oh, and then another great drunk story that I heard, which was around the same time. There might have been like a week before or a week later. This wasn't a great period in my life for drinking anyway. It was when I fell asleep in a ditch.
And
Oh, cool story.
I mean, I don't remember most of the story. The most of the story is just
Oh shit!
Hey,
Yeah, I
guys.
fell asleep.
Hey
in a
guys,
ditch.
another cool story around the same time, which is not really a story, but it's a cool story. Like,
This one
I don't
time
know
I
what
got
else.
my fat ass really drunk and fell asleep in a ditch.
Yeah.
This was when Henry was a cow of a man and just
Man. Just a big old unit.
yeah.
So I'll tell you what I don't remember, but I've been told, so this may or may not be true. But I went to a party with some
Not
friends.
to. You
I
never
don't.
got to.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't get invited. So
This is the when he says friends, he's talking about the driver that picked him up that
Yeah.
night.
Didn't want to pick him up. He's just not talking about it.
Yeah,
They still Skype from time to time, you know.
yeah. My head.
Whenever Henry wants to hear those words, hey boy, you got a pretty mouth. He just hops right on there and dials him up.
He uses them on that. What are the tractor trailer drivers use? That ham radio.
Oh, the ham radio.
So candy cane.
Oh, you
Yeah.
see that movie
This is
too?
Big
Yeah.
Daddy. Candy cane.
What would your username be on one of those?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Big Daddy loving 69 for sure.
It's a lot to say.
Daddy fat sacks.
All right, then.
Oh, mine might be the Master Whipper.
The master.
Okay, that is a little kinky. But
My
Yeah.
dad used to be one, and his was the Midnight Rider.
I thought you were talking about a whipper.
Oh yeah.
Your dad used to have a CB radio.
Yeah.
He was trying to hook up with
And his-
boys and girls.
Oh yeah, he was.
That's
How do you
hot.
think I got here?
Yeah, Will's mom is actually younger than him, if you can believe that.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, back to my terrible drunk story. Where was I? Oh yeah. So I went to a party. Apparently, I don't remember any of this. And again, I was like, "Oh, I'm kind of bored. Let's leave." So I decided to try and walk home on my own. And I maybe made it about 100 yards and found a nice little ditch and fell asleep. So
Is there something wrong with your bed? Like you'd like to sleep outdoors? Like maybe we should get you an Eno. Like
I'll take it with me
Constantly carry around
when I
a
go
knee.
downtown. It's just ready.
yeah, just wear it like a book bag, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Just bring my backpack downtown whenever I go drinking. In case I get lost, I can set up a camp.
Pull up the Eno and
Yeah.
See,
A
when
little
I get
tinder
drunk,
box
I'm not a wanderer. You wander around.
I am, and it's the worst trait of mine because I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know where I'm going to wake up.
See, all I
It's
do
never
is
anywhere good.
I just puke on my dad and shit myself sometimes.
But anyway, I'm gonna finish out this drunk story because this is where it starts getting good. So I wake up at 8 in the morning in a ditch, and I'm like, this is strange. I wake up, and my phone's next to me, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty good that no one's stolen my phone. And I have like 4,000 missed calls, and apparently people put a missing person report out for me. So I had a call from the police being like, you are missing. I was like, oh,
you were currently missing. Do you know this?
yeah.
Yeah.
You have a missing person report on you. You definitely need to call us back. So that was a tough hangover. I walked home. I think I lost my keys. I've lost so many keys, and when I walked home, I felt all right, to be honest. I'd had a good night's sleep. Again, I fell asleep at like 10:30, so I was up at 8 in the morning, like was ready to start my day.
One day we're gonna like see you in your obituary in the news and be like, 23-year-old British kid living in South Carolina gets mauled by a tiger or some shit.
Yeah,
I feel
probably
like
not.
Probably
That's
not a
right.
tiger, but you know.
I
Maybe.
don't know. He seems to have an affection for these random men that drive by and want to pick him up. So
I was hitchhiking. I was living the American dream.
if anything, he's gonna end up like, I don't know, maybe like Casey Anthony's daughter, like
driven into a lake.
yeah.
Yeah, that was one time. I can say I've officially hitchhiked. You can't. So
I'm not. I have no problems with saying that.
I've hitchhiked home. Oh my god.
Shut that dog up.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Fucking clip the vocal cords.
Yeah, just right now, take him out. Backyard surgery.
Yeah, this definitely turned into a different kind of podcast. Start killing your dogs on the air.
Henry would be the first over here. Hey man, I'm ready to eat. Like,
With my paper plate ready.
yeah.
With my barbecue sauces.
Have you fired up the grill yet? We're gonna have PETA on us for this.
Yeah, I love all animals.
Yeah, I love to eat all animals. Oh wait, edit out eat.
Edit out eat. Oh.
Yeah.
Shit, is something else? What's the strangest animal you've eaten, Spencer?
Ooh,
I mean, would you say bear? Would you say? I mean,
bear's pretty strange.
I mean, it's good, but I mean, it's kind of out there too. Bear meat's good, but
Why
What
would you
about
eat bear meat?
I think my grandfather brought it for Thanksgiving one year, maybe.
What?
But it was
You
good.
see what-
Thanksgiving? What the fuck kind of hillbilly redneck hick town are you from?
Yeah.
Did we
You
not
see what
go
I mean
over
about-
this at the
Oh,
start of the?
Spencer's
granddad
literally
brought
from
the
the
black bear.
1890s. His granddad comes in hunting a bear, slings it on the table.
Has this fucking pelt as a hoodie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're sitting there exchanging what are them things called? Dream catchers?
Dream catchers. Trading spices for food.
Yeah. No, he did. He came in. He
Stuff
said, "You
in
have to
chicken
try that."
hardwoods.
And I said, "What is it?" He's like, "Just try it." I said, "Yeah, that's good." He said, "That's bear meat."
That's wild.
Interesting. I've definitely not had bear.
Oh, what have you had? Like lamb? I mean,
Lamb's pretty standard. What about you, Will?
Yeah.
What have you had?
Maybe the strangest thing I've had emu, kangaroo, bison,
geez, and
ostrich.
those are more outrageous than bear. I feel like.
Yeah, kangaroo's wild. That's probably the strangest thing I've ever eaten. I've had alligator a bunch.
That's actually pretty good.
Tastes like fucking chicken, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess kangaroo. Kangaroo's delicious though. There's a place in Greenville called Saskatoons that we can go to. It's fucking delicious.
And they serve kangaroo.
They serve kangaroo. Yeah. I've had crazy shit like this shit that I've never like animals I've barely even heard of. I've had
Jeez.
I think I've had like the sea slug that you can't really get anywhere. I've had jellyfish, snail.
Jellyfish is literally 95% water. That's
They're
the one.
fucking terrible, dude. It's like chewing rubber.
What about octopus? You ever had octopus?
I've had live octopus. Actually,
That freaks me out. But I love crab legs though. Those are good.
crab
Probably-
legs. My
Probably not
dad,
really out there, but
My dad takes all the Japanese people out from his company, and they always want some crazy shit.
Like what?
Like fucking raw octopus and kangaroo.
Asian.
Jeez. About
Oh,
some
this
Asian
one
people
time-
eat the
This one
strangest
time
food.
This one time we were out in it might have been Chinatown, New York City. Yeah, that's where it was. And this dude was talking to my dad. He's like, "Oh, yesterday, yeah," because yesterday he had gone and eaten sushi, and they're like talking. They're like, "Yeah, yesterday, sushi horse." My dad's like, "Oh, wait, horse? What?" They're like, "Oh, yesterday that meat sushi we got you to try. I didn't try it, but my dad did." He's like, "That meat sushi you tried, it was horse. It was raw horse. My dad is eating raw horse."
Jeez.
There's a big piece of sushi.
Bye bye sea biscuit.
They called it beef sushi when we were eating it. Well, he was eating it. I didn't eat it.
Beef
The-
sushi is the equivalent of sea biscuit.
I think the strangest food I've had was in China. Just those Asian people, so they know how to eat some strange food. And it was for breakfast too, and it was like a hog's head. So none of the parts of the body which you want to eat, just the head. And you could like pick it at snout and stuff and like scrape it out with a fork on your plate on the
Jeez.
buffet line.
Henry, do you remember what you brought me back from China?
No.
You brought me
What was
back a
that?
bag of pickled chicken feet.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, what a
That's
gift. What a gift.
I'm pretty sure that was in my car for like a year because I refused to touch it.
You know, us Americans, when we go on trips, yeah, you bring me something back. Oh, yeah. And you go get a t-shirt, maybe like a cool souvenir. Nah, these British people like to bring back, what was it, a jar of pig's feet or
Bag.
something?
I remember.
Pickled
now.
chicken feet.
Pickled chicken feet.
Yeah,
Like it was nothing.
it's a good snack. It's good protein.
So is chicken.
It's
Just
all
chicken.
sodium.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, let's wrap this up now. We have done. Oh, wow.
So we want to end with
So
maybe
if-
a random question go around, or
Let's end with like the same ending. Like like a question, like a would you rather or something.
okay. Well,
we
y'all
need some
want to go?
audience participation. That'd be good. We should have a question at the very end, and like whoever comments on this video, if anyone even watches this video, let's be honest. But someone should comment like a question, and every single week we should all answer that
All right.
question.
Well, Henry,
It could
since
be
you're
whatever.
Well, for the
all right, Henry,
sake,
will you come up with a question for right now?
yeah, we'll each just do one now, and then we'll
You
do
put
it
me on the
that
spot.
way.
Put me on the spot. Right. I'm gonna edit out this massive pause. What's I think?
All right,
So
I'll go ahead. I've got one. I mean,
okay.
would you rather be hated or ignored?
I feel like that was.
Exactly.
I feel like that was the most boring question and the most boring answer. This is why we need to prepare for these podcasts. But I
Okay.
have no idea.
We were the ones that were trying to get you to
Both.
prepare, you little.
I
nigger.
know, and then
Yeah.
yes, it finally came out. Fire.
All right. If anyone's listening to this, you can put a comment in, and that will be our question of next week. There's probably no one's listening. If you add any comment, it will be our question. All right. Anything else to say? We done?
Make a Facebook group.
What
or
came
just-
first,
is it-
chicken or egg? Better question.
Oh, that's tough. Henry, you want to go first?
No. Let's just-
Okay. No, I'm gonna go. Okay. Did the chicken or the egg come first? Had to be the chicken. Because how could you have an egg without a chicken?
I'm gonna say an
Yeah.
egg. Fuck it. There's at one point a snake had some weird ass egg and it became a chicken.
So
Yes.
like
All right.
So
You're
fucking-
both stupid. This podcast is over. If you want to ask a question to Spencer and hear the most stupid answer ever, do that in the comments. All right. See you.
would you rather be alone the rest of your life or always be surrounded by annoying people?
What
I'm
was the
stopping
first part?
recording now. I'm stopping recording. You're just talking shit.